What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now today we are hopping into what's probably becoming my favorite comic of 2025, and of course is written by Zdarsky, a person who I would say arguably wrote the best Daredevil run that I've seen in years. He's coming over to Captain America for our Secret Wars, and holy crap guys, maybe I'm biased. I'm an Iraq infantry veteran, so this comic resonates with me, connects with me on such a level that it just blows my freaking mind. In this untold origin story, we're really seeing the rise of a Captain America while Captain America was frozen in ice. We're finding out who David Colton is. And to know his story, you really have to go back to the Iraq War, to the Afghanistan War, because these wars were fundamental in who he would become, on the man that we see today. And this day for them should be a glorious, victorious day. In Afghanistan, this is the day that they defeated the Taliban. This Captain America and his forces, they were able to defeat them, to drive them back to where there are none but his interpreter, a man who has lived here his entire life. He doesn't celebrate like David would. The truth is, Captain America and his men, they've only been here for 2 months. And David's like, yeah, we've been here for 2 months and we took down the Taliban. It took less than a season to get democracy back. But his interpreter tells him that violence can give you the illusion of victory. But to get to democracy, it's a much longer road than battle victories. That you understand this place as little as the Soviets did. Now, David thinks that really, this man's been fighting the good fight all of his life. He doesn't know when to put down his weapon. The truth is, it's a man who has lived through civil wars, Soviet insurrections. This is all he has known. A truth that David couldn't even fathom growing up in Manhattan. The idea that war, it never truly ends. Not while people carry its horrors with them. This is what takes us to present day. Steve Rogers is still trying to figure out this world, figure out how things operate. But he is happy about one thing. In this new world, there is still something that he can do, and that's beat the crap out of fascists. Now, while they're having this conversation, they're talking about a town that Doom had renamed. And we're kind of seeing how jaded that Captain America David is. Now, he is a major, so we'll just call him Major David. Or Major Colton. And he asked Captain America, you think the guy before Doom was better than Doom? What about the guy before that, or the guy before that? The truth is, warlords, they've been doing this for years, for decades, for centuries. He reminds Captain America that this is an extraction mission, in and out. We're not here to crack Doom's skull. We're here to rescue somebody and then leave. And Major Colton, he makes sure that things are good, like there's not going to be a problem between him and Cap. But Captain America tells him that I'm just getting used to things. I went to sleep in a world of chaos. Back then, if we saw the enemy, we took out our enemies. And the Major tells him that it's still chaos. But the chaos is now kept in check, and it has walls of order spread through the world. Those walls are men like Major Colton, like Captain America. Now, as they get boots on ground, Captain America starts discussing a plan, but he doesn't know about satellites. He doesn't understand they already have eyes on. They know exactly the path that they're gonna take. As he starts to grasp his head around the idea of satellites, of live movies from space following people around. So for him, it's hard to understand why anybody would call this freedom, or trying to understand these new definitions of freedom is really what Captain America is trying to do here. America is now watching everything, watching everybody, and they carry a big stick. That those joint bases in Romania, they have these bases spread across the world. That they hold the world accountable. That this is all thanks to what Captain America did. Now, Cap thinks, what I did mattered. So why do those words haunt me? Is this what freedom really is? Is this what freedom really means? In the midst of this thought, this is where they are attacked. A Doombot comes out of nowhere. But as our heroes attack, as our heroes fight, Major Colton is taking on the Doombot from the woods. We have the rebels, with Captain America and Major Colton finding themselves surrounded. We pick up in the past. Something about his interpreter just kind of didn't feel right. It didn't sit right. He had been translating for months now. He didn't want to suspect the worst of him, so he tracked his phone. He followed him to a location where there was an armed guard outside. Everything about this was shady. Everything about this looked like it was gonna go sideways. When he heard bangs from upstairs, the guard outside saw the Major and opened fire. Now he was able to put this man down. He grabs his shield. He heads up the stairs. By the time that he gets into the room, he sees that his interpreter, he's laying out with a bullet shot in his stomach. This was just a small taste of the horrors that he would see to come. Trying to figure out why his interpreter was here, to figure out what was going on. The man he was meeting with, the man lying dead next to him, he is a warlord. Before the Taliban, warlords, they ruled. This man was one of them. This warlord killed my sister. So if we are free from Taliban rule, this man is free from Taliban rule, which means the power vacuum that you guys have left in your wake, now that the Taliban have been dismantled, warlords like him will rise up. They will pop up, and it will be the same thing over again, jumping us back into the future. Back into present day, we pick up with our Captain America. They're sitting around with these rebels discussing what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it. Now that Doombot, they had captured it. They reprogrammed it. Now it fights for them. The rebel leader's name is Wolf. Marius Wolf. This is their guys that they're supposed to meet up with, their point of contact as they go to rescue these individuals. But Wolf decides that he wants to change the plan, because the plan was, you help us get the civilians, we give you guns. Wolf is saying that Doom is vulnerable. He's been planning an attack, and with the help of these guys, he might be able to do it, to free Latveria from Doom's grasp. And then the hostages that you're seeking, you don't need to sneak in and grab them. They'll just be free. This is where Major just gets livid. And Captain America says, Major, let's step outside. He tries to calm Colton down. He tries to tell him to look at the options. Sometimes things change on the ground. And right now, we need to make a call. Captain America says, I'll take on Doom. You and the commandos, free the hostages. If anything, he'll serve as a distraction, allowing them to accomplish their goal, and maybe helping the rebels out at the same time. This is where the Major tells him, like, you're talking about toppling the leader of a country. Like, I know you just woke up, but America's not at war here. The way Captain America sees it, the guy broke his international law, jailed diplomats, killed his own people, entered America illegally, and endangered our civilians. That we may not be at war with Doom, but Doom is at war with us. This is where Major Colton walks off, and he tells Cap, like, it must be nice thinking that you can make things a better world, a better place. This is what picks us back up in Afghanistan. Duffel bags up, shield in hand. They are now sending him to Iraq. The word is out. Iraq is holding weapons of mass destruction. They don't even know if it's true. They just know that they are being sent off to another land, to another war, to another fight. This is the way of a soldier. This is the life of a grunt. And in present day, we see the Major and the rest of his commandos, they're loading everything up, and we see that war has really broken the Major. You know, Captain America is going off and doing that thing, and he'll even admit, like, Captain America's a hero. There's no doubt about that. God knows that the Major looked up to him, but Captain America, he's a man lost, a man out of time, and if we keep following his direction, he might just drag us down. Soon enough, he's gonna figure the world out. He's gonna figure out exactly how the world operates now. This is what picks us up with Wolf and Captain America. They have been able to sneak in, rifle in hand. This is an assassination attempt. And Captain America, he didn't really understand what was happening at first. David's voice in his head telling him that this isn't your mission, that this is cold-blooded assassination. And so while he stops Wolf, prevents him from doing this, this is where Doom attacks. But it's not actually Doom. It's one of the Doombots. Captain America sees how quickly he has been trapped, how quickly he has endangered himself, endangered the mission. He is trapped with a man with a metal face. He is just a man with a metal disc. And when the Doombot gets ready to dispose of Captain America, this is where Victor Von Doom tells it to wait. That this man, he is the rumors that are coming out of New York, and now they appear to be true. This is Steve Rogers, the original Captain America, the scourge of Adolf Hitler. And so Doom tells him that I and the nation of Latveria, we welcome you, Captain America, as a hero. And that will be the end of this issue. Like I said, guys, I'm probably biased on this one. I connect and resonate with this comic so much. I connect with David Colton so much. I understand where he comes from. And I think people are right. I think David's gonna end up being a villain. The truth is, after decades of war, after seeing the bureaucracy, the diplomacy failing, the red tape the governments have to walk around, the billionaires, the corporations, all manipulating and twisting things. I mean, go look up right now how much Halliburton made off of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. How much these mercenaries made astronomical money. These weapons manufacturers making money hand over fist. Because during the Afghanistan and Iraq war, business was a booming. War is profitable. And so while we're fed illusions like we're giving countries freedom, we're giving them democracy, we're giving them what America loves, and that's why they want to attack us, because they hate freedom. That's why the Taliban does what they do. That's why they're doing this and that and so on and so forth. But when the reality is, none of that is true. And Major David Colton has seen this time and time and time again. So when Captain America just jumps into the fray, when he jumps in and ready to punch Doom in the face and take down a fascist, the world just doesn't work like that. The world isn't a comic book. You can't just go in and beat up a guy and expect things to work out all hunky-dory. That for every action you take, there is an opposite reaction. You may take down Doom today, but what rises in his place? David Colton, he is the regret of every soldier. He is the embodiment of all our remorse. He is the personification of all our trauma. So when I say I'm biased, this is why I am biased. Because David Colton may be the realest, most accurate depiction of what it is like to be a real-life soldier betrayed by your government, lied to by your government, only to find out that your friends, your brothers in arms, the civilians, the lives lost, the hundreds of thousands, it was all in vain. It was all for somebody's profit. The saddest part about all of this is how closely this comic is connected to the truth, to real life. Issue number 2 down, and I cannot give this comic enough praise. Our Secret Wars is hands down one of my favorite comics to be released so far this year. And it is gonna take one hell of a comic to take this one's throne, to take that number 1 spot. But you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been happening with the series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50 from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you're getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.